Okay, guys, welcome back to the Let's Get Freaky podcast. Very excited. I've got a returning guest today, and she's absolutely awesome. We've got Shell Spooky Story with us. Shell, welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me. That's a very flattering intro.
Oh, no, you're very welcome. You're
It's maybe
awesome.
one of the best I've had so far.
Oh, love that. So obviously you're the host of Shell Spooky Story, which is a fantastic show.
Thank
You're
you.
you're an author, you're a
Yeah,
paranormal investigator,
yeah,
content creator.
yeah.
What have I missed? What else are you?
Um, Founder of Northumberland's Haunted Museum coming soon,
Yes.
2026. Yeah,
Whoa. Wow.
exciting yet
Yeah.
terrifying.
That does sound cool. Founder of a museum.
Yeah,
Man. So when is
don't
that
really see
opening?
that in my future, but here we are.
When is that opening? When's the
I am hoping probably late spring, early summer this year. That's
Wow.
kind of the goal that I've set myself. I've
That's
been trying to
awesome.
register it as a company house company today, and the UK government website has driven me insane. So the less said about that, the better. But
Yeah.
they need to sort themselves out if you're listening, which you probably are.
I think the UK government need to sort themselves out on a lot of things, to
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah,
They
yeah,
really do.
definitely. Yeah.
Not going to
And
get
we know
too
you're listening
political.
because you
Yeah.
listen to everything.
Yeah, you scumbags. Leave us alone. Just let us live. And just put the prices down, please, on
Yeah,
everything. Thank you. That's all you need to do.
yeah, that's all we need.
We don't care really. It's only when you start getting involved in everything. Oh, you set me
Yeah,
off. You set me off, Shell. Well
I
done.
know. Sorry, rein it in, rein it in. Breathe.
It's okay. It's okay. The world is a
It can't
stage.
hurt
It's
you,
all
Tommy.
fake. It's all fake. Everything's
It,
fake.
it is.
That would
Yeah.
make more sense with when you look at what's going on in the world. That it is just all a stage. It's just
It's
all,
yeah, it's pantomime.
yeah. There's puppeteers at the top, and they just want to keep us all in this negative space.
Yeah, you can't even say it's a movie anymore. People used to say it was a movie, didn't they?
Yeah, it's
But
gone
it
past
is. It's
that.
pretty much panto.
Yeah, if you watch this as a movie now, you'd be like, this movie's a bit far-fetched, you
Yeah.
know?
Whereas if somebody went, "He's behind you," you'd be like, "Yeah, he is."
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh,
It is a crazy world.
it is
But
definitely.
today, obviously, we're going to get into a little bit of paranormal. And
We are.
well, since you was last on the show, I think this is your third time on Let's Get Freaky, I
I
believe.
think it is. Yeah,
We've
feel
had some
honoured.
fascinating conversations, aliens, obviously ghost encounters, all
Yeah,
sorts of paranormal. Do you want to give people that maybe haven't listened to those episodes a little bit of backstory about yourself and what got you into high
yeah.
strangeness?
So I was pretty much born into the spirit world, from the spirit world, I would imagine, given that I've had some wild past life history revealed. Um, and weirdly, the house that I lived in was in front of a wood that was called Ghost Hill Woods. So the first school I went to was called Ghost Hill. So ghosts have always kind of been there, lurking in the background, quite literally. And I've kind of had sensed them all around me all my life. I've seen them. I saw them a lot as a kid, but I don't really particularly see them that much anymore. It's more a sense or like a third eye seeing. Um, like I can, if like I always describe it. If someone said to you, like, picture a telephone, you'd be able to see like what a telephone is in your mind, or you'd at least like be able to figure out what it looked like. It's a bit like that. But I could like draw things that I see. Um, I could do spirit writing, all that kind of stuff. I'm developing my mediumship at the moment because I'd quite like to get it to the stage where I maybe like physically see them again. Um, we will see. Jury's still out on that one. But yeah, I switched off for a very long time when I went to school, mainly because I was sent to a World War II boarding school. So there was lots of creepy stuff there because they still had the Nissen huts, they still had the iron beds and all that kind of thing. So it was really like dark and creepy. And there was a lot of sadness there. And obviously, being a teenager, you want to like act as normal as you can. So I kind of just went, no, it's not happening. I'm going to pretend that I'm a normal teenager that doesn't feel things, see things, or spend most of my time awake at night. So as an adult, I kind of still had it shut off. Me and my mum used to watch Most Haunted, and we used to go to mediums, and that was probably about as far as we kind of delved into it. But when my mum passed away, that's when I then got it back into the paranormal stuff, because it was kind of like a memory. And I was like, oh, we used to love doing this. And I kind of thought that if I watch this stuff, then I'll feel a bit closer to her again. It'll be like we're kind of chilling out watching it. And I was really scared to start with. I was like turning off things and being like, no, if I look at it, it's going to come after me. Like I instantly thought if I saw something on TV that it would instantly, I'd have it attached to me or something. It was just like really scared me. But obviously I got really into it. And that opened up this new world where I decided to start a podcast, decided to join a paranormal team, and now I'm opening a museum. So
Yeah.
and that's all been in the space of like a year that this has all happened.
That's wild. That is wild.
Yeah.
I was like that when I first started getting like listening to podcasts and stuff about
Mm.
paranormal stuff, and I used to think like I shouldn't be listening to this because I'm going to
Yeah.
be inviting it back in, which I
Yeah.
think does happen. I think when once
Mm.
you open yourself to it, that's when experiences seem to like
Yeah,
rise up.
definitely. Yeah.
Because like you, I had a lot of experience as a kid, you know.
Hmm.
I think there is something about the switching it off in your teenage years that happens.
Yeah.
Not for
Uh,
everyone, but I can relate to that as well, where it sort of feels like, I don't know, because I've always been interested in it, like yourself.
yeah, I
But
used to watch like Goosebumps and, all of
oh
that stuff
yeah,
when I was a
absolutely.
teenager. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, I did prefer like Casper the Friendly Ghost because I thought, well, if he came round, that'd be fine.
yeah. Even that would freak me out as well.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah. Probably the minute something floated through a wall, I'd be like, oh,
get out.
yeah, demon.
So that the school that you went, I know we did talk about this, I
Hmm.
think last time we was on, but that was you at boarding school? Was you living
Yeah.
there?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
From
that's
the age
tough.
of 11 to 16.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that must have been tough.
It was pretty crap, to be honest.
Yeah, a haunted World War II boarding school.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, we had like a really old water tower. There was like this pit thing that apparently people used to chuck because it was near where the sick bay was. That's where they used to put all the bandages and all the waste and stuff from like all the operations, and whether limbs or anything ended up in there, I don't know, but apparently that's where it all was. So it was like all decomposed. Our language block, where we used to have like our languages, was actually the old morgue
Oh wow.
for the hospital, which is weirdly next to the refectory where we ate our lunch, dinner, and breakfast. So really peculiar place.
I'm pretty
Really.
sure I asked you this last time, but did you see anything in that school?
I didn't. I don't think I can't remember whether I actually saw, like, physically saw anything. I remember that I felt a lot of things.
Hmm.
That constant like feeling of being watched. Going to sleep at night, I used to have the duvet over my head and like white knuckle it because
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to see anything or feel anything or touch anything. But most of the time, I was in a dormitory with like 6 other girls, so you had to like try and be cool. But there was one stage where we opened, lifted a chest of drawers out because something had fallen down the back. So we pulled it out, and then someone turned it upside down for some bizarre reason. I think it was to try and get something out. And on the back of it was a Ouija board that somebody had written. And they were like, oh, let's do it. And I was like, nope.
Oh,
And they were like, oh, it's so boring. I was like, no, I know what's going to happen. I'm not even entertaining it.
yeah. Yeah. Now
So I
you'd
left
be all
the
over it
room.
now.
Yeah. 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 Well, actually, do you know what? I don't do Ouija boards. That's the one thing I don't do,
Hmm.
which is
Hmm.
weird because I'm quite into the Victorian style of communication. Like I use dowsing rods, I use mirror scrying, um, automatic writing and a pendulum. But Ouija boards, the same thing. It's spirit communication. As long as you do it right, you should be all
Yeah.
right. But I think it's because my mum had a weird incident, so that's kind of put me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of scary stories regarding Ouija boards, and
Yeah.
even from people that I know that are not even big into this kind of stuff, but they've done
Mm.
Ouija boards and they've got
Yeah.
an experience, and it's like this: you are playing with something that I think, you know, that you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't. I know not that's not for everyone. A lot of people really enjoy it, and that's fine.
Mm.
But for me, I feel like you're switching on something that maybe
Yeah.
you
It's
shouldn't.
like picking up the phone or opening a door and not letting, knowing who's coming in.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the same with what you could do with a pendulum or even like oracle cards, tarot, anything like that. You're still
Hmm.
opening yourself up. You just need to sort of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
people used to do Ouija boards after bloody dinner, didn't they? Back in the like 80s and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, let's have a family game of spirit board.
Let's see what we can conjure up.
Yeah, just communicate with our uncles and, all the rest of it. It's just what they did,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Nobody thought any different of it
That's
because it was
before
it was meant to be a
smartphones.
game. Little did they know.
Didn't have many TV channels, did they? You know.
No, no. That's why people had so many kids back then. It was either a Ouija board or something else.
So since we last talked, which
Yeah,
I can't remember when it was. It was some point last year. But no, sorry. We talk a lot since
we
you were
do talk
last
a lot. Yeah,
on the show. I mean, and
yeah.
I was on your podcast just before Christmas, which was a
You were, yeah,
great
yeah.
time. But
Very
since you were
scared the shit out of you.
oh, always. But since you were last on Let's Get Freaky, what kind of things have been happening? What kind of things have you been exploring? Because I know you've been on a lot of
Mm,
investigations.
I have, yeah,
What's
yeah.
been going on?
So I've been working with my mentor. I'll start with this one to like increase my abilities. And I went through this really weird stage of like trying to connect and like nothing was happening. So I thought I was like blocking myself and I was like, it's not happening. I was like, they've just left me. I'm all alone. My spirit guides have given up on me and all the rest of it. And I'd just been like really ill. So I think it was just because of that. But we had a session and she was like testing all these different things to see like what, like she was holding up cards and stuff. And I was reading the cards and without like the book or anything. And she was like, yeah, you've got everything perfectly fine on that. So we're going to try this exercise. So what she does is we do it over like computer, like you and I are talking. So she stood there and she said, right, I'm going to close my eyes and I want you to like look at me and tell me what you see. So while she's doing that, she's actually like speaking to her guides and like trying to like bring things in and see whether I pick up on them. So after that, she opened her eyes and she said, so what did you see? And I said, well, first of all, there was like this blue turquoisey light that came in on your right side, left side. And then there was this shadow that came in and kind of stood behind you on your, that would have been left side as well. And she was like, okay, that was, she said, well, who do you think that is? And I said, well, I thought it was your guide because they were like just stood there. And she said, yeah. And then there was this moment where on her other side, the right side, behind her, this shadow kept going like in and out. And I was like, I've never seen that before. I have no clue what that is. And when I said to her, she went, interesting. She went, we're going to try something else. I was like, right, okay. She went, I want you to do what you did again, but I want you to kind of like squint slightly at me. Like you're kind of looking hard at a like magic eye or something, and see what happens. So we started doing that. And what happened was the freakiest thing I've probably ever seen in my life. Her face turned into this man that had like a powdered white wig. And then, but I could kind of still see her underneath it. It was like he was on top of her. And then that face turned into this woman with like long grey hair that looked like all haggard, like a kind of Celtic-y type witch. And then she turned into this woman with like this massive like Marie Antoinette Buffon-y hair. And then after those three appeared, it was like her face was just changing, like flitting between all these different like people throughout time and history, races and all sorts. And it was so quick. It was just like boom, 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 boom. And I was just sat there. And then she opened her eyes and I was like this with my head in my hands. And she was like, are you okay? And I went, I have no fucking clue what I have just seen. And
Whoa.
she was like, just tell me what you see. So what she'd actually done was gone into a trance medium state. So she'd let a spirit take over her body to show themselves through her. And I was able to see the spirits like in front of her, like in her body. It was insane. I've never seen
Wow.
anything that crazy. Because I thought, am I just losing my mind here and just like imagined all of this? And then when she told me what she'd done, I was like, oh shit.
Whoa.
It was wild.
So you're seeing that with your naked eye. That's not in a
Yeah,
mind's eye. That
yeah.
is,
That
yeah.
was my physical eye. Yeah.
Whoa.
It was
That's
weird.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very cool, but very, very like insane when it happens.
Yeah. And there was a number of different spirits sort of.
Yeah, there was like loads. That there was those first three took like a little bit of time to like come in. I think they were obviously like warming me up. And then it was just like literally like one, the other, the other, the other, the other. And it was just flitting. And you could see them go like tall to short to like fat to like
Whoa.
thin.
Well, the
And
whole body was changing.
yeah, it was so bizarre.
Man, that
It
must
was
have been
insane.
wild.
Yeah, I had to have a strong coffee after that because I
Yeah,
was like, I need to
I
calm down.
bet.
Like, I don't know what happened.
So do you know who those entities were? That-
Um, I think what she was said to me was that she was calling forward like her guides and ancestors. So it was like a mixture. Because we always have that as mediums, you have that doorkeeper guide, which is kind of the main one that you work with.
Mhm.
But other ones come in for different things. Like, if you're a healer, you probably have one that helps you with your healing. You've got other ones that are maybe like ancestors that have passed that are helping you. Like my granddad's always about. He's not my guide or anything, but I think he acts as one because he's like a protector.
Mhm.
And he's always like, the minute I work with her, she's like, oh, your granddad's behind you. And I was like, yeah, I know. I can feel him.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, it's
It
weird.
was there any idea who the shadow was that was coming in and out?
She said that was the spirits because she was kind of like, just show yourself to see whether she can see it.
Mhm.
And then she was like, you've obviously picked up on the fact that there are spirits coming in and out. So we're going to try, because when you do mediumship, you're meant to be in a bubble of protection. And your doorkeeper stands at the side of that bubble, not inside it, but outside to like make sure nobody goes into it, because that's how you protect yourself. But when you do trans mediumship, you sort of bring them closer to you and allow them in. And if you can't control yourself, that's where people then get like taken over and stuff in investigations and go a bit doolally,
Mhm.
because they've not protected themselves and the spirit's just been allowed to like kind of jump into your energy field, basically.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Wild.
That is wild. So so obviously you were going through a spell where you felt like nothing was happening. Then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you have this big experience.
Yeah.
Did that kind of open up the floodgates again? Or
Well, a weird thing keeps happening with me where I have an amazing thing like that happens. And then I'll have like a few meditations where things happen. But then I'll go out on an investigation and like it will almost be like I'm in a room where nothing happens. And I'm just like, hello, anyone want to talk to me? Like, yeah, you're literally ghosting me because I'm not getting anything. And it's like I can sense the energy, but I just can't particularly sense the spirits.
Mhm.
It's really like I can tell it's a heavy place or like a sad place or anything like that. I can occasionally hear things. Like we went to Jedburgh Jail and I wasn't particularly picking up on much there, but I think I'd protected myself to like the nth degree. And I was in a bit of a bad mood as well that day. So I don't think I was particularly in the right mood to be doing it, which for me to be in a bad mood is quite bad.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't
The
know.
happiest people
But
I know, Shell.
I don't know what happened. But the fact that we were doing something and I went, oh, I'm just going to go get a drink.
Mhm.
And Sarah was like, you never walk off an investigation. Like, what is going on? I was like, I think some people have just annoyed me and I've just got like two in my head.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
she was like, okay. If Shell's walking off an investigation, it's bad.
But I think that there's something to your energy is so important when you go into these places.
Yeah, you have to protect yourself. Yeah. And sometimes, as I found out the other day, you can protect yourself as much as possible, but some shit's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah, yeah,
so
definitely.
was that what happened at 30 East Drive?
Yeah, yeah. We went there last Wednesday. So I protected myself massively. And Liam from Spooky Shed was with us as well.
Oh, wow.
So he came and
Love Liam. Shout out Liam.
yeah, we love Liam. And Emma Swales from the Bell Witch podcast, she came with us as
Oh,
well.
awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she lives sort of close there, so she came along.
Yeah.
So there's a few of us little podcasters there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the minute I walked in, I I felt really like, I don't even know what the word would be. Like, not particularly agitated, but a little bit like on edge. And weirdly, they were like, "Oh, you need to." I think Liam said, "Like, do you want to come do something or whatever?" And I went, "Oh yeah, is it that way?" And he went, "No, that's like to the back door." He was like, "The stairs are that way," and I was like, "All right." I just felt really like disorientated, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I got in there and I started to feel like a little bit nervous, and I don't really get nervous, and I was like, I'm not sure what's going on here. This is a little bit like unfamiliar ground for me. But I don't know if it was because that house comes with so much like pretense that I was like getting in my head a little bit. But I'd done all my protection, and when I started to feel like that, I then like bubbled up and double bubbled, and I was like, I'll be fine. So we went to investigate upstairs first, and the girls were upstairs, boys were downstairs, and myself, Sarah, and Swales had gone in one room, and we were kind of just sat there in the dark and just waiting for things to happen. Liz was in the other kids' room at the end of the hallway, and then her daughter and niece were in the other bedroom. And we were kind of all working on different things, but working together to see whether what we were doing individually was going to answer the questions at the same. So I was doing a pendulum. I was doing my cards, my divination cards that are like yes, no, and some other words. And then Swales was doing a pendulum. Lucy was doing dice, and Liz was asking the questions. So we were trying to work out whether everyone had yes at the same time, no at the same time, and all of that. And the whole time we were doing that, I kept like turning around because my back was to the door, and I was like, just kept looking. And Sarah was like, do you feel like someone's behind you? And one of the mediums that was on the live watching us was like, he's stood behind you, as in the monk was stood behind you, like looking over your shoulder to kind of see what you were doing. And there was this mirror behind me that was kind of propped up against the wall. And I've seen this mirror loads of times in loads of pictures that people put on. And I didn't particularly think anything of it. And Sarah was like, well, why is it turned around? And I said, I don't know. She said, is it like broken or something? So I picked it up and turned it around, and then kind of forgot about it and then was doing stuff. But Sarah was looking into that mirror the whole time because she was recording me, and I was sat in front of it. And turns out that mirror is a portal. And I was like, no wonder I felt like instantly sick when I picked it up to turn it around. Sarah started to like lose concentration. She started to feel sick. She started to say that she didn't really want to be in the house. She never gets anything or affected or anything. So that was really weird. And I was like, okay, this is not going well so far. I was like, damn it. Then we kind of took a break, and the boys went upstairs and the girls were downstairs. And then I got called up to Liam Gray from New Dawn Paranormal. And they were all shouting at me like, Michelle, get up here. So I like ran upstairs. Well, I didn't run up the stairs because I'd been told to be careful on the stairs. So I walked up the stairs as kind of quick as I could, but not running. And it kind of goes up, and then there's this big step where the clock is and the pram that people use to like see where the pram gets pushed down the stairs and what have you. And then you kind of turn and then you go up the stairs. And you know, when you trip, you go to put your hands out to like catch, like the banister was there. I could catch the banister if I was tripping. I literally pancaked the floor, like proper hard, smashed on the floor. And I've got bruises on my knees, like my legs, my arm, all down this side is really painful. My shoulder was absolutely killing me because I just literally just went boom on the floor. And I was like,
Whoa.
and it was really hard and heavy. So the boys came out of the room and Mike was like, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll come down." So Mike had to like pull me up. And then I had to go sort Liam out because he'd been affected. And I was like, is something trying to stop me from getting to Liam so that it can obviously like take him?
Whoa.
That it kind of shoved me because where I'd been, go back into that whole mirror and the card thing, when I felt something was behind me, I kept looking like that, and Liz had said she'd just seen a full body shadow run from the room we were in into the bathroom. And I thought, well, is he like stopping me from getting to Liam? Because that's exactly that area where that shadow was before. And so I had to then cleanse Liam. Then they went and did mirror scrying. Mike was mirror scrying and got taken over. He had a rosary beads in his hand. He smashed them down onto the table. Liam then picks them up and was like, because they were Liam's rosary beads, so he was like, don't break them. They were a gift. And he put it in front of Mike's face to be like, you know, what is your problem with these beads? And Mike hissed at him. And I was just stood by the wall, like being like, okay, there's going to get to a point where I'm going to have to intervene here because that is not good.
Yeah.
And then, what was it? Mike said something like, he was telling us basically to get out. And I was like, right, just get him out of here. So Mike went downstairs. I had to smoke cleanse Mike and, you know, do what I do to get rid of whatever's near him. Liz then went upstairs mirror scrying, and she basically what's his name, Joe Pritchard, who's the dad of the kids that were affected, and he's the one who got locked in the coal shed and stuff. He died in that bathroom in that house, so his spirit kind of is said to apparently linger. And he came through to Liz, and she was so angry. She was like fuming. And they were like, Michelle, you need to come up here again. I did a lot of running up and down those stairs eventually because of everyone getting taken over and having to like go sort everyone out. And I took her downstairs and took her outside. So she was like away from the house. And she was like shaking. She was so angry. Like she was proper like vibrating, and she never ever ever wants me to smoke cleanse her. At the end I cleanse everyone before we go home, and she avoids it like the plague. She's like, no, I'll be fine. And I'm like, right, fine, okay, whatever. But she was like, you need to do something. I need everything, just do it all. And I was like, okay, if she's asking, that's bad. Even Liam Holmes, he did some mirror scrying. And I think you can see on his clip, because he was filming the whole thing, he literally goes like, nah, fuck that, and walks off. And he said it's literally because his face, or he said his eyes moved when he knew he was staring at himself. The eyes in the mirror moved.
Whoa.
And I think he said that it came towards him, but he literally came downstairs into the living room where we were. And we were like, are you all right? And he said, I just need a minute. And he literally sat there like so quiet, and Liam's not quiet, is he? And I was just sat there on the chair going like, okay, I'm going to wait and see what he says. But this is like, he took like at least 5 minutes before he started talking to us and telling us what happened. And I had to cleanse him. And when I took him outside, he was shaking, his teeth were chattering. And I was like, bloody hell. I was like, this, cleansing everyone. Yeah, it was wild.
Man.
Yeah. And the guys that slept there said that they kept seeing like a shadow at the door, like because there's a glass living room door that goes into the hallway, and they kept seeing like a shadow, like just standing there watching them sleep and then like moving and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa! So you can sleep there as well.
Yeah, you can stay overnight. We all went to hotels because we're wimps.
You didn't fancy that, Shell?
Not after being shoved up the stairs, no.
Man.
I really didn't fancy that. But Sarah, she went outside for a cigarette, was talking to this man, turned up at the gate and was asking her all these things about the house and saying like, well, have you bought it? Are you renting it? Like, oh, are you doing an investigation then? And everything. She turned around, literally turned back round, and the man had completely disappeared. And apparently there's accounts of other people. And I think Carol, the next door neighbour, she even says that people have accounted this man that comes to like talk at the gate and then he just disappears. And the minute she said it to me, I went, "You've had a full on blown conversation with a ghost." And she was
Whoa.
like, no, he must have gone somewhere. I said, "Well, did you see him walk anywhere? Because, the bushes, you could see someone walk past like either way." And she
Yeah.
was like, "No, he just literally disappeared." I went, "You've spoken to a ghost."
Can she remember what he was wearing?
She said it was just like really dark, like all dark. And she said, "I was looking
Whoa.
for like if he had a dog with him, or because why would someone be out that late? Like it was a bit odd." So she was like looking to see whether he was walking a dog. And she was like, "There was nothing. He was just stood at the gate, like talking to me."
Wow.
Honestly, I've never been anywhere on an investigation with that lot, and so much has happened that I'm sat there going, like, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, nothing ever happens to me either, but for me to like completely get pancakes on the floor
Yeah.
in quite a violent manner as well, that was not nice.
Did you feel like a push? Did you feel like hands on you or anything?
It
Or
happened really quickly. So I
yeah.
don't really know. All I know was that I was at the top of the stairs about to go walk into the room to see Liam.
Hmm.
And the next thing I knew, I was on the floor.
It's like you say, when you're walking up the stairs and you trip, like 9 times out of 10, you can catch
Yeah.
yourself, you're
I mean, I
aware it's
trip
sort
a
of
lot.
happening.
So I know the routine.
But this was just no stopping you just went.
Yeah. And I went down really hard as well. Like, if you trip, you don't really go down. You can kind of, even if you hit your knees, you kind of put your hands out, don't you? So
Yeah,
you're in
yeah.
that cat position or whatever you are, like,
Hmm.
downward facing dog, trying to like push yourself back up.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
was just like, I was flat on the floor.
Because sometimes when you're falling, you realize you're falling, and even though it's happening quick, you're still like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
falling." But
Yeah.
then sometimes you're like, you're just on the floor, and you're like, "Whoa, how did I
Yeah.
get here?"
Yeah. It was,
Man,
yeah. I can't, I don't know. I could have tripped, I could have fallen, I could have been pushed, but I don't remember it happening. It happened so bloody quick that if I tripped, it would have been a bit slower and I would have put my hand out
yeah.
and at least tried to grab something,
What a
not
night.
like just completely full. Yeah. It was, and then you think after Wednesday that'd be enough, but no, Saturday we went to Sunderland Air Museum.
See,
And
well,
Friday we're going somewhere else.
oh man, I love it. I love it. We'll get into that, but I want
Yeah.
to 30 East Drive for anyone that's never heard of. I know it's quite a. I know before we started talking, I mixed it up with another location.
Mm.
But for anyone that doesn't know what 30 East Drive is, can you give a brief history of the
Yeah.
place?
So it is. I will get my little bit up
Sorry
because I
to
was
put you on the
actually,
spot
that's
there.
fine. That's fine. A little bit of history. We all love a bit of
Hmm.
history. So 30 East Drive is basically known as the Black Monk House of Pontefract. There was a movie done about it, which was called When the Lights Go Out, which is a great movie, by the way. I would highly recommend that. So in the 1960s, the Pritchard family moved into the house, and immediately strange occurrences started to begin. It was unexplained noises, doors opening and closing on their own, lights flickering on and off without any reason. Um, Furniture was reportedly thrown across rooms, heavy objects moved without anyone touching them. The children were lifted off their beds, allegedly. And then the figure started to appear, which was a dark robed entity said to resemble a monk, was reportedly seen moving through the house. Witnesses described a black solid form, sometimes with glowing red eyes, and the figure became known as the Black Monk of Pontefract. Activity became so intense that police were called out to the house, not once but multiple times. Officers themselves later reported hearing unexplained sounds, movements, and disturbances while inside. It grew the attention of psychic investigators, paranormal researchers, and some believed the entity to be connected to a nearby monastery that once stood in Pontefract centuries earlier. And it has a dark, malevolent presence. Presence. I hate these long words. Why do they put long words in there? But like the dad got locked in the coal shed. by the spirit and wasn't able to get out. I think in the movie you see like a grandfather clock, which there is a grandfather, might be a grandmother or grandfather. There's a big clock anyway, at the top of the stairs, and apparently that like flew down the stairs. Yeah, loads of things happen there. But then some people have also said that nothing happens and that it's a load of rubbish. So I thought, well, at least go once to see what happens myself. And I think having been once, I'm not going to go back.
Wow, really? You wouldn't go back there?
I wouldn't go back. No, not after that thing happened on the stairs. I wouldn't try my luck.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
Yeah,
even sat in the armchair with dowsing rods, and most people that know use dowsing rods know that occasionally they just do this or they cross.
yeah.
I was sat in the armchair, which apparently has a lot of activity because they reckon there was originally a well underneath the floor, which obviously gets a lot of energy and stuff. But my this hand, and everyone was watching, like, because I had my arms rested on the arms of the chair, so I couldn't move my arms. I did it on purpose, but you could feel like the ball at the end twisting, so that something was like moving them, and it was literally spinning around like this, like it was a helicopter going to take off. And I was having to like stand like this out the way because it was whipping around so fast. I was like, that's going to hit me in the face.
Yeah.
And I've never seen dowsing rods do that ever.
So that doesn't normally happen when you use dowsing rods?
No. You occasionally just get like a little bit of movement or like they cross. Occasionally they might come towards you, which I always take as my spirit guide saying, don't push it. But this was like proper, like a helicopter.
Whoa.
It was weird.
I mean, for you to say you wouldn't go back, that says a lot, because obviously you're investigating a lot. That's wild.
I definitely wouldn't go back there.
I mean, some people say ghosts can't hurt you. We hear that in the paranormal world. Ghosts. Some people say that. But they evidently can. You know, and they can. You know, there is a dangerous side to the paranormal.
Yeah.
You know, it seems. Whoa.
Definitely.
That's wild. So the guys sleeping that were seeing the shadow were possibly seeing the monk.
Possibly,
possibly the monk looking in.
Yeah.
I want to go, Shell.
It's scary.
I want to go.
Well, I'm not going with you. You can go on your own.
That is wild. Does anyone live in the house now? Is there anyone living in the house during the week?
It's just owned for paranormal investigators. John in our team was like, I don't know, if you put some like modern furniture in here, it'd probably be a really nice place to live. And we all looked at him like, are you fucking mad? I was like, I wouldn't live here. I wouldn't even stay the night. I refused to go to the toilet in the place because the bathroom, there was 2 rooms I didn't go into, and that was the bathroom that was this end upstairs and the kids' room that was there. I literally got to the door of there and it was like there was a wall and I couldn't like get past it. I was like, no, something's telling me really not to go in that room.
Whoa, well, just a feeling, just like a gut
it was
feeling.
Just like, it was almost like my guide had stood there and went, do not even attempt it. Just stay the hell back.
Yeah.
So I didn't peep the whole time I was there.
Wow. I think it's important to listen to that gut feeling.
Oh, yeah.
If it's telling you not to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Because people go, I'll just go in, just see what happens. But I mean, I'm with you there.
I was like, not happening.
Whoa. Why do you think? Because obviously there's a lot of places like 30 East Drive which stand out as you know, ghosts are everywhere, I believe. I believe there's spiritual stuff going on around us all the time.
Yeah.
But there are certain places like 30 East Drive which, for whatever reason, it seems heightened. I don't know what it is. Why do you think? I know obviously a lot of these places are commercialized, and you know you can go there and investigate, and you know there's a money aspect that they're making money from selling the venue. But there is a history there that led to that. Why do you think that is? What do you think happens in these certain houses where high strangeness is just like the house in Enfield as well, where it's this reputation?
It's a weird one because like 30 East Drive, I don't know when the house was originally built, but from the kind of look of the houses around there, I would have thought that there'd been another family that maybe had lived in there beforehand. I might be wrong. I don't really know. I haven't looked into it. If anyone does know, please do let us know. But you'd think like, well, if it was like a new house, then what happened? Like if it was just general stuff that happened first of all, and then it all suddenly like went explosive. Like, what happened? Was it because the girl was like hormonal and she was going through, because it said that hormones in girls, especially teenage years, can bring on poltergeist activity? Is that why that he was able to like manifest? Don't know. Is it because of the well? Not sure. Is it on a historical site that something else had happened previously? Could be. Is it on a ley line? Don't know. There could be all these different things. So I don't really know why these things happen, but there must be something that kind of charges the energy for them to like be able to manifest in the way that they do. Because it takes a lot for a spirit to manifest, like even just to like switch a torch on or, you know, whatever. It takes a lot of energy. So for them to actually be able to like push somebody over or like pick something up, that's a lot of energy. So is it because we've all been going in, you know, week after week, night after night, whatever, for however many years, that's all brought the energy up?
Yeah.
To then make it even more haunted? I don't know.
I think that's possible that our energy sort of doesn't create something, but, or maybe it does. Maybe our energy, our fear does create something. I don't know, but it obviously, you say there's a lot of people going there investigating. That there's a lot of energy and a lot of scared energy being put into that as well. So I wonder if it feeds off that, because it
There's
does.
definitely energy in that place, because even I was like, and a few of us said it, like we couldn't string sentences together, and it was like our brains were getting confused. It was really odd. There was also an incident when the Bible flew off the piano. I forgot about that.
Whoa.
Yeah, we were all sat there in the living room. We just had this bang, and we were like, "What the hell was that?" And we went out and looked, and the Bible was on the floor, but before it'd been on the piano, because we'd heard upstairs on the Spirit Talker the red book. And we were like looking upstairs for a red book, but we couldn't find a red book. And then when we'd gone downstairs, we were like, well, the red book is a Bible, as the Bible's on top of because they had several Bibles. And we were like, well, that's a red book. And we were kind of like going, well, that makes a bit of sense, doesn't it? And then we kind of all sat down. I think that's when we were eating or something. And then we suddenly had this bang. We're like, what the hell's that? And then there's the red Bible was on the floor. It was really bizarre.
Man. And was you recording all this night?
Yeah, there were a few of us recording. I wasn't recording, but Liam Holmes was recording. Mike was recording on Facebook for New Dawn. Sarah was recording on TikTok for New Dawn. John was recording on his TikTok. And I think some other people were recording as well. Oh, Liz had a camera as well, because before they went to bed, she'd put the camera at the bottom of the stairs to see, because we'd noticed the pram had moved a couple of times. So she put the camera at the bottom to see whether she could like record anything while they were sleeping during the night. But the battery drained instantly. It was
How often do we hear that?
Oh, yeah, that happened to me Saturday. My torch, I had to charge my torch 3 times.
Yeah.
And it had 4 dots, and every time I used it, it went straight down to 1.
And is it working okay now?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
See, I mean, how often do we hear that with haunted locations?
Yeah.
It's something to do with the energy.
They make it very hard for us to capture anything, because they just literally suck the life out of us.
Yeah. Or maybe they need that energy. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
to manifest, yeah.
What? So people can watch some of this stuff. It is online.
Yeah, so if you head over to like the New Dawn TikTok, and I think Liam's going to put a video out of what he's caught at some point, and it will be on the TikTok and Facebook page for New Dawn Paranormal. Yeah,
interesting. The another really interesting thing that happened, obviously, is your friend that saw the man that maybe disappeared. And you often think, like, because I would go back to the paranormal, the ghost that I saw when I was a kid. You know, the first sort of big experience that I had with the Shakespeare man in my room.
Yeah.
And he was like a solid, like, if I saw him out on the street now, you know, I'm sure I'd be like, oh, that he's dressed a bit strange. He maybe had a fancy dress or something, you know, but I wouldn't think that's a ghost. You know, that's how solid he was. And I wonder how many times maybe that happens. You know, where we maybe interact with something that we think is just a person.
Yeah.
And that's wild, man.
Because
That's a wild
if you think about it, like throughout history, you've been able to tell certain time periods through people's fashion.
Yeah.
But now you've got so many different people. Like some people dress like they're from the 1940s, some people dress like they're in the 80s, some people dress like they're in the 90s. We
That's
have
true.
so many people that dress in different ways. Like how many times have we maybe walked past someone and be like, why are they dressed like they're in the 1950s?
Yeah.
And it's actually a ghost.
Yeah.
And we don't know. I
That's
mean, unless
so
they're on a
true.
mobile phone going like, yeah, I've just been on TikTok, blah, 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 then that probably isn't a ghost. But
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
it's somebody just walking along with like a handbag and smoking a cigarette and like one of those long things or whatever, you probably just don't bat an eyelid. You'd be like, oh, she's dressed like very nicely. She
Maybe
looks like she's from the
we're seeing
50s.
ghosts all the time, possibly. You know, when we're downtown shopping, you know, who knows?
I'm going to start asking, like, are you a ghost? Before we start this conversation.
Touching them. No, don't touch anyone. I had Barbara, a medium on recently called Barbara, really nice lady. And she said that she saw the spirit of her mother-in-law. And when she saw her, full-bodied apparition, she was dressed in like a Victorian style, which wasn't her period. You know, it's like, and I was saying, like, maybe all ghosts dress Victorian. You know, and maybe on the other side, like, let's just go back. Let's just throw it back. These clothes, you know. Maybe it's
because you never see like particularly a hoodied ghost and like
wearing a Nike Air Forces.
It's like, oh, there's Tommy is wearing that cap.
Yeah, it's true, but then maybe we are seeing things and that we wouldn't. Like I've told you about the weird fox story outside my house, right? Have I told you about that?
Yeah.
So when I left work one day, if anyone doesn't remember that, I left work one day. It was very late at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, and a lady walked past, and didn't think too much of it, but it was quite strange to see someone at that time. And she walked into the bus stop, and I couldn't see her for like a second, and a fox walked out, and I was like, oh, that's weird. The fox must have been, the fox must have been in the bus stop and got scared by the lady. And as I've got to where I could see inside the bus shelter, the lady was gone. There was no lady there. Now, I'm not saying it was a shapeshift. It was very strange. It was one of those moments where you're like, what the heck have I just seen? What happened?
I'm not saying it was, but there's too much evidence to say it possibly was.
Because I try and debunk things a bit better now as I'm doing this more. And she can't have gone anywhere. Like, there's nowhere she could have disappeared to. You know, unless she like got right into the corner of the bus shelter where maybe, and like, sort of hid herself, but I don't think, like, for a start, that would be
weird.
That would be very strange if she'd done that. But I don't know. And that experience baffles me. And I was just about to do an interview with JJ Rose, so I couldn't like sort of wait outside and try and work it out. I was straight in, and very weird.
So you went from that crazy experience to an interview with an even crazier experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we did have it was a weird that night. The interview went a little bit strange where we thought we both time got a bit weird. You know, I sort of lost track of time. And I don't normally lose track of time when I'm interviewing.
Yeah.
Very weird. Yeah. This paranormal stuff is weird, Shell.
It is, yeah. I'm a bit scared for my museum, to be honest. I'm going to have to be like, I might get people walking in being like from the 1940s, and I'll be like, are you here on holiday? And they'll be like, no, I live here. And I'll be like,
just touch their face.
Yeah, I'll be like, hello? Oh, you can stay. We welcome all ghosts. So in the museum, not my house.
Yeah, don't come back.
Just state that.
So you was in Sunderland Air Museum this weekend, just gone.
Yeah, Saturday, yeah.
Any weird stuff there? Any weirdness?
For the Sunderland Air Museum, it was pretty quiet, which was weird. It was the first investigation back from Christmas as well, because we did the last one of the year, and so we did the first one of the year. So I think they were like obviously just warming up. I imagine next time we go next month, it'll be like, you know, everything going off. So it's pretty quiet as far as that goes, which means that you still get activity, but it's not like to the extent that it usually is. The interesting thing is that Liam did his I think he's spoken to you about this before, his phone experiment that we do. So this time we took it up a notch. So all of us as a team get together at the end of the night to do this experiment. So we know where every single person is. So we know that it's not been tampered with. So what we'll do is like Liam and Mike, they go to one of the hangars, which is like the other side of the place, the American hangar. They'll go in there. They put up a music box, which has an infrared light, so it only goes off if you walk through the light. They then put a phone on a crate so that it couldn't be like dropped or moved or anything. And then they put up a tripod, which was then filming everything so you could see that nothing had been like tampered with. And that film was going live on Facebook, I think. So anyone on that live watching, and we were watching it on one of our phones, could tell that nothing was being tampered with. So we then shut the door. So that's all locked away. Nobody else is in there. We then go over to the transport one, which is like just across from it, probably like a 2-minute walk. And then we all go right to the back on the tram that we were on, and we all sit there. Liam then phones, or he's already phoned that phone, so that we can obviously, because the ghost ain't going to pick up and be like, hello. So it's already like running. So Liam's got the phone and we asked questions to it. And what was happening was the music box was going off when we asked questions. And then you could hear like tapping. We've heard dogs barking on it before. We've heard people talking. Like you can hear several people talking. We even had him say something like bye to us last time. You could literally hear a man go bye. And we were like, who was that? Because we're all in here.
Yeah.
There's no way. So that was interesting. That's a really like interesting experiment.
Yeah, man.
Because there's just no answer for it. Because we all know where we are.
It's interesting
and
when
the
multiple
the
people.
museum are locked up, so nobody else can get in as well.
Yeah. Do you sleep? Do you stay there? Do you sleep there the night?
No, I'd love to though.
Yeah.
We do generally leave most nights at about 3 a.m.
Okay.
So we get there probably at 7 and then leave at about 3. But I'd love to sleep there, and yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Which just goes to show you how bad 30 East Drive must have been.
Yeah.
For you to say you're never going back and you wouldn't sleep there. So it just
I
kind of
definitely
shows you
wouldn't.
the
Yeah.
levels of
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting when multiple people hear the same thing that they can't explain, paranormal, because I
Yeah.
know like when you hear something strange on your own, you've experienced something paranormal, right? Like you've heard something that out of the ordinary, can't explain it. But when you and someone else or a group of people hear that same thing, it's
Yeah.
like then that's like really undeniable. You can't
Mm.
say, because sometimes maybe you can put things down to imagination a little bit, like if you're being ultra skeptical, but you
Yeah.
can't when so many people have heard or seen the same thing.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, we did it when Liam came to the air museum, and we even like took him with us to like finish the experiment, to open the door and be like, you can see that we've just opened the door, everything's still running, nobody else is in here.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've got no answers. I was like, because there aren't any.
See, Liam was really skeptical.
He's no longer a skeptic.
He
If he says he is, I'm going to slap him. I'll be like, can you not remember 30 East Drive?
But you look into the paranormal, it looks back, right? And I mean, you can't once you
Yeah.
start looking into it and experiencing it, there's no going back.
Yeah.
I know there are still
He's
skeptical
still not
people out
scared of
there.
it, though. He's still going to come on some. Because I spoke to him before he left the hotel, and I was like, he went, oh yeah, well, I'll definitely be on some more. And I was like, you're just as nuts as the rest of us.
I'm hoping to get down there soon as well.
Yeah, definitely. You have to.
Yeah, I really want to. I don't know how, because I've never done a full like an actual paranormal investigation. Like when
Mm.
you go to a location and call this stuff on. I've never actually done that.
Yeah.
I've been to obviously a lot of haunted places, stayed
Yeah.
in haunted places, but never really to like actually document and find
Like
evidence.
ask for it.
Yeah, ask for it. I've never asked for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I probably need to stop asking for it. Yeah. This Friday we're going somewhere which we are actually staying overnight at this one, which we
Right.
don't often do. But this one's meant to be like really intense.
Where
And I
is
was
it?
like,
What
we've
can you tell
literally
us what
just
it
done
is?
30 years drive. I think it's called Havelock Towers. It's in Sunderland. It used to be
Okay.
like an orphanage. It's been a mental hospital.
Oh boy.
It was a World War II hospital, tuberculosis hospital, unmarried women's place before as well. So it's
Hmm.
had like quite a lot of like traumatic things around it. But I haven't read into it too much because I don't like to. But from what Liam says, that some of the accounts from other people have been absolutely terrifying. And most teams don't last the whole night. There's only been 2 teams that have lasted the whole night. Others have like got up and left at like 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning or something.
Whoa. Well, good
So we'll
luck.
see. Yeah. If I come, I'll come home at like 9 o'clock at night and be like, that's too intense.
We'll have to do another podcast next week.
Yeah. I'll be shaking up.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we will see what
Yeah.
that's like. Yeah. We've never
Whoa.
been there before, so I don't know. But
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, I know there's a lot of real haunted locations, but imagine living next to
mm,
somewhere like 30 East Drive where there's got so
yeah,
much negative
yeah.
energy as well. I
But
mean,
that's the bizarre thing because you turn up and it is literally like you would turn up at your mum and dad's house
hmm. Oh,
because
really?
there's just like the lights are on. It's a normal house. There's other
Yeah.
people around it that are like getting their food shopping in, going out for the night. Kids on bicycles and all the rest of it, and you're just like, this is the most haunted house in Britain. Like, what are you doing? Stay away from it, people. Stay away. But they're just going on about their like normal business.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to hear what the neighbours say if they
Yeah,
experience any, because, I
probably
don't
like
think,
stop parking outside my house.
yeah. Yeah. 3 o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
on a Friday and Saturday when the
stop
paranormal teams are
screaming, you idiots.
screaming. Yeah. It's a good point, actually.
Yeah,
Is it detached? Is it a detached house?
it's it's kind of like there's a big roundabout, and
Hmm.
it's like kind of a crescent-y, like the house is like on a almost like crescent, and it's attached to another house,
Oh,
which is the
okay.
woman who like lets everyone in. Um, so she's attached to it. But then it kind of there's the road there and the road there and like another road over there, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's bizarre.
Well, it'd be interesting to talk to that lady as well, just to see what she kind of
Yeah,
experiences.
there's mixed opinions about her. I've seen a few things before where they've said that she like taps on the walls and stuff. But in all defence, I didn't hear any taps on the wall the whole time I was there.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if she fell asleep, who knows? But
Yeah.
it was yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Because you would
I
think,
just know
obviously,
from my vibe, I will not go back.
yeah. Well, that says a lot. That says a lot.
Yeah, because I did actually feel like unsafe when I was pushed. I was like, right, this has reached the point where I actually feel unsafe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Not so much mentally, but that was actual physical unsafe. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah. And gut feeling is very important.
Yeah,
I think when
definitely.
you get that feeling of this is dangerous, this is not right, I
Yeah,
think we need to listen to that. And I think that's,
mm,
yeah,
massively important.
yeah,
Don't push it, you will regret it.
yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
100%.
Well, sure, I've got to get
Yeah.
into
Oh, yeah.
your recent conversations on
Mm-hmm.
Alien 8 UK
Mm-hmm.
with the fantastic Andy Decodes.
Yeah.
I've not managed to see the last 2 episodes that you've been on. I need to
Mm-hmm.
go back and watch them. But I know there's been some weird revelations on.
Really weird revelations.
So this
So
is on.
basically, Andy and I are related.
Separated at birth.
Yeah, we're like brother and sister that we never knew or never wanted.
So this is on Alienate UK, which
Yeah,
is we love Andy Decodes, and
we do.
everyone involved
Yeah,
is such an awesome group.
it is.
And obviously we jump on every now and again, and we have a great
Mm-hmm.
time. And he's started doing a UFO segment on Mondays,
Yeah.
and you've been on the show for the last few weeks, couple of
Yeah.
weeks,
Last couple of weeks. Yeah.
talking UFOs. And I know you had that experience with when you were living on the military in the military housing, you and your
Yeah.
husband,
Yeah.
and you saw an alien in
Yeah.
your garden, which was
Yeah. Which I actually think, I was looking at this the other day after my whole conversation with Andy and Abby. I actually think that figure, I looked at a whole load of like alien pictures, and the only thing that I can kind of put it to is reptilian or draconian, because it had that kind of like dark browny, like lizardy type skin, which makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because they're not
absolutely.
nice ones.
Yeah. You have shared that on the podcast before, but can we go back
Yeah,
to
I think
that?
that was my first episode. Yeah,
Yeah. So you were your husband was in the military,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're living in military housing,
yeah.
which is interesting in itself, because you think,
Hmm.
if these things are like monitoring us, military's an area they're really going to want to look into, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just went outside to let my dogs in the garden, and I always went out and stood with them because we had dogs either side, and if they were at the fence, because you have these like little wiry fences either side, so if their dogs were there, it would just be like carnage. They'd be like trying to like attack each other through the fences and stuff. So we always went out with them,
Mhm.
and it was my turn, and I remember just like seeing this figure and these eyes just like staring at me through the kind of bush thing that we had at the end of the garden.
Mhm.
And as I said, it was like, I thought I'd been out there for like 10, 20 minutes because I was just stood still in like absolute fear. And I couldn't move if I wanted to. And then when I went indoors, my husband asked me if the dogs had even done anything because I'd been out there like 20 seconds. And I was like, are you joking? I was out there for ages. Like, why did you not come and check on me? I was clearly outside for like forever. And he didn't come and see whether I was all right. And he was like, you've literally been out there 20 seconds.
Whoa.
It was
So
really bizarre.
time manipulation as well.
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't a nice feeling. Like, it wasn't a warm, fuzzy feeling. It was like a really dark, scary, like sick to your stomach feeling.
Mhm.
And like, you need to run away, but you actually can't because you can't move.
Man. Did the
Yeah.
creature move? Can you remember it like moving
It
at
was
all?
just kind of like staring at me. The only time I saw anything move was like when it kind of like went up and then something shot over.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell's that? But then I obviously don't say anything because I think he already thinks I'm nuts for talking to dead people. So if I mention aliens, that's going to go like to a new level. And it'd be like, just shut up, weirdo.
So we talked about this on your podcast before Christmas, where your
Hmm.
husband is very skeptical
The
about this
biggest
stuff,
skeptic. Yeah,
which is
yeah,
wild, really. And
yeah,
what is interesting is, and I said this to you on your podcast, is that you talk to so many people in the paranormal world, and quite often you'll get couples where one is like seeing amazing stuff, interdimensional
yeah.
gnomes in their backyard, and then the other one is just skeptical, and
Mm,
there's so many couples like that.
yeah,
It's very it's wild, really,
yeah.
you know.
He thinks I'm an absolute lunatic. But then I think he's absolutely crazy for not like believing anything.
Yeah, yeah. And he's not had any experiences, right? Like he's
No,
not.
no. Although I did say to him recently, there was a thing come up on Facebook, and it was of Finding and the golf balls that are there. And it said something about like aliens or whatever. So I read the thing to him. And funny enough, I'd just been chatting to Andy,
Mhm.
and I said to him, I was like, "Oh, look at this," and he looked at it and he just went, "Interesting." And I was like, do you believe in aliens? Then he went, and then he quoted something from bloody Brian Cox and then called me a feeble-minded
Oh,
human or
Brian Cox.
something. And I was like, right, okay, ended that conversation. I said, but he didn't like dismiss it because he was actually based there for quite a while.
Yeah,
And I was like, so he didn't dismiss the fact that that's what that's all about, but he didn't confirm it either.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, have you seen? It came out yesterday. Apparently, the Bank of England has told people to prepare for a market crash because it believes that the US government could come out with, you know, telling us
Ooh.
that aliens are out there. That's apparently from the Bank of England.
How does that affect the market though?
I don't really
Are they going to
know.
like take up all our stocks or?
Everyone just, everyone's just going to go crazy and take all their
Yeah.
money out and just run. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't know why, but that's what they're
Yeah,
saying.
that's a weird one.
Yeah. People are just
I'm
going to
not sure about that.
lose their minds. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm glad I brought some like Venezuelan money at some point off eBay. I might have to use that.
Crypto.
Yeah. I think I've got like £1.50 in crypto.
Yeah.
That'll keep me busy. Yeah, a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd basically gone on to Andy's show to talk about that incident.
Hmm.
And then we obviously got, as we do, get chatting in different things. And how it came about was I was talking about like, I think I've said to you before that I had like these really weird reoccurring dreams when I was younger about drones. And then drones became a thing like when I was in my 30s. And I was like, well, hang on, I dreamt about these when I was 8. Like, weird.
Hmm.
And then there was another dream I used to have, which I was explaining to Andy, where I was in my garden and I looked up at the sky and I could just see like all these different ships going over, like all different sizes, all different colours. It's like just I said the way I can describe it is if like, when they did the flyover for the Queen or
Hmm.
King, and they have all the like, the Hurricane, the Hercules and all the rest, Falcons and all the rest of it. It's like that, but like times about 1,000, like the sky's full and all these plane like ships are just going over. And Andy came out with, I've had exactly the same dream. And I was like, what? So we then start talking about this dream and everything matches up.
Hmm.
And I was like, right, this is really weird. So then we thought that maybe we were having some kind of like connection in like the astral realm.
Hmm.
So we then tried to do a week's experiment of trying to meet up in the astral realm. So we'd try and like meet up when we go to sleep, like put the intention that we're astral travel, but it didn't happen. So we came back to like discuss what had happened, which was nothing because we couldn't get there. But I'd been having really weird dreams about being back at boarding school. And in this article that Abby had researched, it was saying about the astral realm, you often dream about going back to school because, and like places that you've worked and things like that, like it all related. So we then started to dig into this dream a bit more and we're talking about it. And what Andy and I have discovered is that he used to turn up to a gate. And when he got to the gate, the guy would say to him, who was behind the gate, you can't be here. You shouldn't be seeing this. And when he described the gate, I was like, in the garden that I always stood in this dream, there was a gate before our extension was built that would go into the garden. So I found a picture. I've got a load of pictures over there and I dug them out and I sent them to Andy and he said that's exactly what that gate looks like. And then I sent him a picture of the house because he said that the house had like another house attached to it.
Hmm.
And he said it was on a road and you could see it. And I said, well, we had a bungalow attached to it. And then he said the gate was like round the back on the right side. And I said, yeah. So, and he said there's like woods behind it as well. And I was like, yeah. So
Whoa.
this is like bizarre. So then he was explaining the man. And I said, he said, is there anyone you recognise? And I said, well, the only person it could be possibly is like my dad's dad. But he died when my dad was 18. So I wouldn't know what he would look like in his 60s. So I got my sister, who just happened to be at my dad's then, to find a picture of my granddad. So we found a picture of my granddad. She sent it to me. I obviously did the thing of putting it in AI and being like, can you tell me like what this man would look like if he had a slight goatee, balding head in about his 60s? And I got the image, sent it to Andy, and Andy went, that's the guy. And I was like, what is going on?
Whoa.
What is going on?
And you're finding this out like live on the show.
Yeah.
That's
So weird.
wild.
Yeah, we don't really know what to make of it. But clearly, because we said like he always kept hearing my name before he actually met me.
Hmm.
He was like, people kept saying to him, like, have you spoken to Michelle? Have you spoken to Michelle? And he's like, who is this Michelle person? And then we obviously met on Liam's Spooky Shed quiz for the first time.
Hmm.
And he said it was weird because it wasn't like we'd never met each other before. It was like we've always like known each other. And I said, yeah, we've never had like that. We've got like this weird like friendship that we've never like met each other. And it's never been mentioned that we never knew each other before. But we just
Yeah,
like talk to each other like we've known each other forever.
that
It's
is
really bizarre.
wild. That is
Yeah.
bizarre.
So
Whoa.
I
So
don't quite know what's going on,
yeah.
but
Are you
there's clearly a connection there.
yeah, absolutely. So the dreams, how long ago were these dreams like that you were both
So
having?
I used to dream about them when I was probably that same time when I was about 8, 9, 10.
Hmm.
And I think Andy said his was like in his, I don't know if he said actually, but I'm assuming it wasn't like recent. I think it was a while back.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so it seems that I've been having this dream where I'm seeing all these ships. And then Andy's outside this gate outside the garden that I'm in my dream, which is actually my garden as a kid. And he's like at the gate, not allowed to get in because my granddad's like protecting me in the astral realm, which
Whoa.
he is actually one of my guides that protects me.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
I mean, that is wild.
Yeah. I've been questioning like reality for the past couple of weeks because I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Well, there seems to be. I used to be someone that just thought, "Oh, dreams are dreams," you know.
Mm,
And I've always obviously been into the paranormal, supernatural, but I always thought, I think when you start saying dreams are like paranormal, I used to be this person where I'd be like, no, I
yeah.
think you're just making something of a dream. But my
Mm,
opinion has totally changed about
yeah.
dreams
Yeah.
because the more you talk to people about dreams, that there seems to be something going on. And me myself, I've had dreams where it feels more than a dream. You know, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like you have a dream, you wake up and you're like, oh, it was a dream. It's a bit weird, but it was a dream. And then sometimes you wake up from a dream and you're like, what the heck has happened? You
Yeah.
know, time feels strange. You feel strange. The dream itself felt so real. You know, I've had that myself. And it's like,
Mm,
that was more than a dream. That felt more than just
yeah.
a dream.
I mean, it
And
was
what is
even
that?
down to the fact that we were walking, like in part of the dream, you could walk to this place and there would be like, it's like a shopping centre type thing, but like in the future ish.
Hmm.
And I said, yeah, I remember watching like Cyberpunk when my husband was like playing it, and I would be like, I'm sure I've been there, like in my dreams, because that looks very familiar. And there's all these shops, and you can't go in the shops, but the shops are there. But you also know that the shops aren't selling like normal things that we'd go in like to a shop to get.
Hmm.
It's all like futuristic stuff that you can't like get hold of, but you can't go into the shops to see. But you also know that you don't need to go in the shops to see
Yeah.
what's in there. It's really bizarre,
So what do
very
you think you
strange.
guys are experiencing? What's the conclusion at the moment? Because I know this is probably you're
Yeah,
probably
I'm
going to
not sure
find
we
out
have a
more.
conclusion at the moment. See, I can only think that we possibly it's like a soul connection thing where we've like lived a life before, maybe as extraterrestrials of some description. Possibly, I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, or we've got some kind of because we've obviously met in this life, so there was a reason for that. We've
Hmm.
obviously then discussed this dream, and there's a reason for us discussing this dream and having this realization.
Hmm.
So maybe we were in past lives and we've always meant to get to this point to then discuss aliens.
Hmm.
We are talking about possibly doing a pilgrimage to this place,
Yes.
because I know the lady who owns the house now. So we could even like go have a look in the house and stand in the garden possibly and see what's going on,
That's going to be
which
wild
would
when
be
when you
interesting.
explain to her the story.
Yeah. Can I just come in to see whether we're astral travel to this garden, please? I mean, she's known me since I was about 4, so she knows I'm nuts anyway. So I don't think she'll be bothered.
Your house means something to us.
Yeah.
What
She'll
is
be
it?
like, yeah, well, I lived there for like 25 years and it was where I saw that first spirit. There was loads of
Hmm.
weird stuff that went on in that house.
Yeah.
So there's got to be
That is
something.
wild that Andy's seen that. Like, what the
Yeah.
connection? I mean, so Andy's from, I think he's from
Yeah,
Manchester,
Manchester. Yeah. And I'm from Norfolk.
and you're from Norfolk.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And Andy's older than me. I won't say
Hmm.
by how much. I'm joking, Andy. Don't come for me. But no, he is older than me. So it's weird that he's like me having that dream when I was younger, and then
That
as to
is
whether we'll like
strange.
have a dream where it all becomes clear,
Yeah.
who knows? Or
And
maybe we're not meant to like meet up in the astral again because we'll figure too much out.
Maybe that's the answer to everything.
Yeah. Maybe Andy and I are the answer to everything. Wouldn't
Maybe.
that be wild?
Yeah.
Nobody would take anything seriously ever again. These two can't
It's
possibly be
interesting though.
the people that save humanity.
Yeah. It's interesting because obviously, like you had no idea. You're going on the show,
Yeah,
with Andy and Abby. You're talking about the UFO stuff, and the fact that this has all clicked, and it's
yeah.
like, whoa.
Abby was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, what am I witnessing?
So,
There's me and Auntie like losing our minds. Like,
because I mean, these dreams, obviously, we have a lot of dreams, but there are, as I
mm,
say, there are dreams that stand out that you don't forget.
yeah,
Like I had a dream not too long ago where I was like, it was so strange, and it didn't. I don't know how long it lasted. It felt so real. It felt
mm,
so real, and I was in like, and I don't dream about being in like wars and stuff like that. I don't really have those sort of dreams, but I was like, I was in like a war type scenario in the future. I was
mm,
I was all like wearing like this black. I don't even know what it was. It was like I don't know, like a war type costume. I don't even know.
yeah,
And I'm with like a group of people and we're hiding from something that's terrifying. And all of a
mm,
sudden these things burst through the door and it's like another human type up there. I know I'm going deep into my dream, but these it was so real. And I just remember waking
yeah,
up just being like, I need to stop looking into conspiracies. That's
yeah.
how it made me
This
feel. I
happens.
felt
Yeah,
like I'm on some sort of list and like they're coming for me. And that was that and it just felt more than a dream. I can't explain
yeah,
it. Very weird. And I've had other dreams like that. I used to have a reoccurring dream where I was in like a haunted hotel. And
mm,
I've not had it for a while, I don't think, but I used to have it so often. And I'm like running around this hotel and it all looks the same. Like, when you're running through corridors in a hotel, something's coming for me. I don't know what it is, but it's not
yeah,
good. And it's like I know I'm in a haunted place. If that makes
yeah.
that's the
It does make sense. I have weird dreams like that all the time.
yeah.
Like I've had dreams where I've been places that I've never been before, and I've like crossed spirits over in the places,
Yeah.
and I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
yeah, it's really strange. And I'll tell you another thing that came from that whole discussion with Andy is that I possibly think I have an implant in my hand,
Whoa.
which
Okay.
was weird because I even went to the doctor and I said to the doctor, I said, oh, I'm going to ask the doctor tomorrow just to see what they come up with. And he was looking at it and he was touching it and everything. He went, and you've never had like an injury there? I was like, no. He went, you've never cut your finger there? I was like, no. I was like, nothing has ever happened to that finger. And he was like looking at it for ages and he went, I think it's a tendon. And I was like, I'm not convinced. You've not convinced me.
Would we be able to see it on the camera
I
now?
don't know if you can see it. If I hold it up, there's like a line
Oh yeah,
on
I
this
see that.
finger there.
Yeah. For the listeners, it's on your middle finger
Yeah,
and it's like kind of in the middle. It's like a scar. It looks
yeah.
kind of like a
It
scar.
feels like a lump though. If you touch it, if you can roll it over, it's like a lump.
Whoa.
So then I obviously started thinking that I'd been taken away and implanted by something when that thing happened. Because
Yeah.
I've never injured that hand at all. I don't think
Yeah.
I've even injured that one, to be fair.
I mean, that would be if
Weird.
that's a scar, that would be quite a big cut that you would have had, and you would have remembered that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's deep and it's like thick, so
Yeah.
it's weird.
I mean,
Yeah, I
that is
question everything now.
absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, going back to that night where you saw that creature in the garden, whatever it was,
Mm,
I mean, it might all relate back to that. Was that the
possibly.
thinking?
Yeah, yeah.
For anyone that didn't hear our first ever conversation, can you describe what that entity, creature, alien looked like?
It was probably I'd probably say about like 6 footish. It was tall. Um, it was really dark, and you could kind of see that it was like you could just tell it wasn't a human face, but it was like kind of built, if you know
Hmm.
what I mean. Like it had broad shoulders, had a big kind of like head, and then you could just tell the eyes weren't human. I can't particularly remember what color the eyes were; they just weren't human.
Hmm.
And it was just kind of like staring at me, but it was like, when they say that things stare at your soul, that's kind of what it felt like, because I just felt like so scared and so still and like I can't move, this thing staring at me. But when I've looked at the pictures, which was last week, of like all the different alien things, I was like, well, it doesn't look like that because that's nice and blue. That doesn't look like that. It's nice and grey. That one looks like a bird. Doesn't look like that. And then I was like, it either looks like a reptilian or a draconian, which aren't particularly nice alien races, are they really?
No, you don't hear good things about them. I mean,
No.
so it was like a brownie color, did you say?
Yeah, it was like a dark brownish thing.
Whoa.
Like if it
And
didn't have eyes, I would have thought it was a tree.
yeah. And the eyes that you could you tell how big they were? Or was it hard to sort of
It was hard to tell, but they just had that kind of weird almondy shape. They weren't like,
yeah, okay,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and they were bigger than what human eyes would be.
Man. And then obviously you saw it leave like in light form, would you say?
Yeah, it kind of like shot up, like just went and then
Hmm.
went over like a kind of shooting a star type thing.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
I felt okay. I felt a bit dizzy, but okay.
Did you have any experiences before? I'm sure I've asked you this already, but did you have any experiences before that night regarding aliens, UFOs, or anything like that?
I would have said no, but then was talking last week, which I thought nothing of it until we had this whole weird conversation. Um, so when I was younger, my cousin came to live with us for a whole year. So me and my sister had to like share a room because we were no longer in separate rooms because my cousin needed a room. Um, she was there to look after us after school because she was quite a lot older than us. She was like 16. We were probably like 8, 9-ish. I don't know exactly how old because you'll find out in a minute. I don't remember anything. So she lived with us for a whole year. She used to smoke out her window and get told off by my mum. She used to sit with us at dinner. She used to look after us after school. She used to come on family holidays with us, out shopping with us. She was like having another sister. I remember exactly one day of her living with us, and it was a moment, and it was her putting up Ross pictures in her bedroom to make it her own. And that is literally the only memory I have of that whole year.
Whoa.
Because I went, oh, yeah, she was only there for like a day. And my
Hmm.
sister's like, she lived with us a whole year. Like, she'd have dinner with us. She'd used to get caught smoking. She used to pick us up from school and take us to school. And I'm like, no, she lived with us for literally a day. And then my dad was like, no, she lived with us for like a year. And I was like, where the hell was I for this whole year? I literally remember like 10 minutes of this whole year.
Whoa. So why do you think that was? What do you think was going on?
I have no clue whatsoever. But I don't particularly remember anything about that period of time at school.
Hmm.
Nothing. I start to question whether I've actually been taken out of school and been like experimented on for a whole year and then like put back.
Interesting. Yeah. What, like,
So
so you're
yeah,
taken and sort of a version of you is left to sort of
yeah, I
pretend that
don't
you're
know.
still there, but you're like,
Possibly. I have no clue. Why do I not remember a year of my life? That's what I'm questioning.
yeah, that is strange.
Really weird.
Whoa. 'Cause I mean, we hear things of like the 20 and back and stuff like that. Have you heard of that? The 20
I
and
haven't
back and
heard of
things.
that, no.
So that's like where people go to sleep as a kid, go to this like other world for like
Mm,
what feels like 20 years. They live a life.
mm,
It's not always exactly like this, but this is just in a nutshell. And they are living another life. They're fighting wars and all, having relationships and literally living in another world for like 20
mm.
years. And then they wake up in the morning and they're like, where have I been? Like I've been somewhere. Imagine living 20 years,
Yeah.
having all these memories
I've had
and
dreams like that.
feeling it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe they were dreams.
Yeah, maybe
I'm really
not.
starting to question
That's what I'm
everything.
saying. Yeah. Maybe not.
Because I remember when I was like properly ill, when you're sat on the mat in like reception and they're like teaching you time and stuff, and they're like, this is big hands at 12 and this is at 1. I remember sitting there and being like, I don't know why you're teaching me this because time is irrelevant. And
Yeah.
I was like, what, 3?
Yeah.
And they used to like get really annoyed with me because I refused to learn it. I was like, I'd see no point. I'm not learning how to tell the time.
Interesting.
Really
Interesting.
strange.
Time
I,
does. I
I
mean,
really don't know what's happening with my life. I'm starting to question everything.
this is what
If
happens,
somebody could
isn't
write in and tell me.
it? Yeah. This is what's so wild about the paranormal, man. There's so much to it,
Yeah.
and you can go so deep. And when you really look back at certain
Mm,
things, you're like, hang on, that doesn't make sense. I
yeah.
mean, the time thing is I mean, when you look at the paranormal, you look at near-death experiences and things like that. Everyone says
Mm,
the same thing. Time is irrelevant in the spirit realm, whatever you want to
yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
And you can have dreams where time feel, I mean, I'm not saying 20 years, but I've had dreams before where I've woke up in the morning, snoozed my alarm for 5 minutes, gone back to
Mm,
sleep for 5 minutes, and had like this what felt like a really long dream. And you wake up like,
yeah.
how's that 5 minutes, man? I've just been, you
Yeah.
know,
I literally cured the world.
I've just saved civilization.
Yeah.
So it is strange. That time does
It
seem
is
to
really weird.
be. It's a concept that like is. I mean, I know there is night and day. You know, we do go
Mm,
through seasons, but time does seem to be something that we've kind of. I know we have not created it, but we lean on it. Everything's about time now. We have to
yeah.
be at
Yeah.
work on time, school on
Yeah.
time. Everything has to be done on time, time, time. But it does seem that there is. I don't know. There's more to it, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
It is
There's more
strange.
to
Everything.
everything.
There is more to
Everything.
everything. Absolutely.
Absolutely everything. Yeah. It's been a wild few weeks.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I said to you, like when we started chatting beforehand, like I've been back at work. What this is my third week since Christmas, and I feel
Mhm.
like I've been back at work like 6 months,
Yeah.
just because of just generally everything else that's been happening in this time period.
Yeah. It's mind blowing. It is mind
Yeah,
blowing. I mean,
yeah.
what's next? I mean, what is the plan for you and Andy? Are you still
I'm a
trying
bit
to meet in the
scared.
astral realm? Are you still trying to communicate that way?
We are. We're not putting quite so much intention behind it. We're just gonna kind of see if it happens, then we'll come back on and talk about it.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to message each other about it. We're going to message Abby about it.
Ah, that's a good
So
idea. Yeah, yeah,
she's
yeah.
gonna like keep everything and then
Hmm.
see, because then we can like come on and then talk about it
Yeah. So
and see
if
whether
you
it
if you have
matches
a
up.
dream, for example, tonight where you meet Andy on a
Yeah,
starship in, wherever,
God knows where. Yeah,
and you message Abby tomorrow and saying, I met Andy last night, we did this and this, and if
yeah,
he doesn't obviously send that to Abby as well and communicate that
yeah.
that happened.
Then it's just a weird
But
dream that I've
if
had.
but if you both do, that
Yeah,
would be insane.
and if it matched up exactly, yeah. I think
Whoa.
he told me off the other day because I said on the podcast, like, if anyone would like to study us.
Yeah. If you guys suddenly go missing,
Yeah,
that would be very strange.
we only accept paid studies though.
So since you had that night where you saw this creature in your garden, entity,
Mm,
alien, and I don't want to put a name because it could be, I don't know what it is. I'm not
yeah, it
sure.
could be anything.
Could be
Yeah.
anything. Have you had any experiences regarding UFOs? I know you've had paranormal experiences, but anything with like possible
Um,
UFO or anything like that?
only in like meditation.
Hmm.
I tend to get like some multi-dimensional beings or whatever. Um, I've had interaction with are they Lyrians that are like lions? They're like lion people. I've had
Okay.
one of those. I actually painted it. And I've sent the picture to Andy and Abby actually, because we were talking about that as well. And then there was another one that looked like, I can probably pull it up because I think I've still got a picture of it. Um, where are we?
What these come in like a meditation when you're meditating.
Yeah, and I don't particularly like ask for them. They
Hmm.
just like I just set the intention to meditate, and then it appears. So the first one, I don't know if you can see that as like a
Yeah. Okay. So for this,
lion.
it's like a lion,
Yeah, lion type.
humanoid lion.
Yeah. So that was one of them, and then the other one um was like this. I don't know if you can see that very well, like a blue type
Uh,
person.
okay. Is that like long blonde hair?
No, that's actually the like gold light that was around it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll
So,
send them to you so that you can like
so
insert
the,
them or something.
so what are you communicating with these entities?
Yeah, that one just appeared and they kind of just gave like a channeled message. And that was it. I mean, on the bottom of the lion one, you can see that I've done like what they say is light language. I don't know like language.
Hmm.
I've never known. I know people that have done it, but I wouldn't be able to write it or sing it or whatever they do.
What's that called? Sorry,
But light language,
light language.
yeah, it's really interesting. I think there's loads of things on YouTube about it.
Hmm.
But I didn't even know that's what that was until I showed it to someone, and they were like, "You've written light language," and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And they were like, "Do you not know how to do it?" I was like, "Nope, that just came out."
Light language.
Yeah, it's
So
like a load of like squiggles and dots and like,
okay.
yeah, it's very strange.
Interesting.
I've come to the conclusion I'm a very complex little creature.
I
I don't
think
even refer to myself as human anymore.
I think we all are. What was the do you know any idea what I know you may not be sure, but any idea what the messages were from these entities?
So the blue one, I remember that was it was, I don't remember exactly, but all I remember is like it was to do with like the human race and about how we need to like look after it and how we need to spend more time in nature, and look after one another and stop being so like materialistic basically. um so it's kind of like a message for everyone.
Hmm.
um and then the lion one was, I think I did that round about the time Lionsgate Portal, which is the 888 thing. I kind of did it around that time. I think I was doing that message and that came through, which makes sense because Leos are lions, aren't they? So I was like, okay, so it's maybe like possibly where I got it from. I don't know, but yeah, I can't remember the message that came through for that, but I just remember it was around that time because like my mom was a Leo, so I remember like the lions.
Hmm.
I was like, maybe it's connected, maybe they came because of that. I don't know. Weird,
Interesting. It
very
is weird,
strange.
but it's interesting. Very
Mm.
interesting. And your husband must think, what the heck is going
Yeah, I draw these things, and he's like,
on?
"What the hell are you doing now?"
I mean, is there any signs of him coming round to it? I think we spoke about it before.
No, but it'll be interesting when I like get him to look after the museum for me every now and again.
Yeah, absolutely. If
Just
anything
lock him in
happens.
there and see what happens.
Yeah.
I will literally like shut him in there and be like, "Good luck."
Bye. Here's the key.
Yeah,
It is
yeah. We'll have to
interesting.
wait and see.
It is very interesting. And it
Mm,
feels like, with what's going on with you and Andy, it feels like this is probably the start of something that hopefully we get more answers to, because it's
yeah,
very strange.
it is very weird.
Because I know you and
If
Andy very well, and I know that if
Yeah,
you're having you're having these experiences.
yeah. And I think if we were bullshitting about it as well, that we'd kind of be laughing and taking the mick, wouldn't we?
Hmm. Hmm.
And going a bit OTT with the whole thing. But
Hmm.
yeah, we're both like proper freaked out.
Yeah, no, I bet. And I know when you go on Alienate UK, we don't, and like this podcast and most
Mm.
podcasts, you don't plan what you're going to talk about,
No, no.
So it's there and then. Sometimes you might know a little bit of what's coming, but not really.
Yeah.
So when you hear something that correlates with what you've experienced, what Andy's experienced, and you put that together, and that's what's
Mm.
so amazing about sharing these experiences, because
Yeah.
there's probably so much we're missing because we don't want to sound crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just
And
put
until you
out,
speak to these people and then you're like,
yeah,
what?
yeah, until more people share, which is what, hopefully is happening. More people seem to be
Mm.
coming to terms with, the fact that there is more going on at least.
Yeah.
What that quite is,
I
no
think
one
so.
really knows. We're all trying to work
No.
out.
Mm.
But
If anyone does have any clue as to what's going on with me and Andy, please feel free
yeah,
to
let us know.
reach out and let us know
Yeah.
because we are interested to try and work on it and see what the actual, you know, what it is and what we can maybe like do with it. Maybe
Hmm.
we are meant to help some people. Who knows?
Yeah. Absolutely. And for anyone that wants to go back and watch those episodes of you and Andy
Hmm.
and Abby, that is on Alienate UK, and I believe it's every Monday. They do that
Yeah,
live.
yeah,
And obviously the previous episodes that you've been on are there as well.
yeah. There
They
were
can just
the
go back.
last 2 Mondays. Is last week and the week before is the ones where we learn about our crazy connection.
Hmm. Wow. Are you going back on?
Very
You're going
weird.
to see if there's any more?
Yeah, I think we're going to wait and see whether anything happens, and then we're going to like go back and talk about it, like work on it and develop, just see what comes of it. Really
Interesting.
be very strange.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Wow. Shell, you've blown my mind again. It's been
Thanks.
it's been another fascinating conversation. And it always is. I always love having you on the show. So thank you.
Thanks. I love
Thank
coming
you
on.
so much. Can you tell the listeners where they can find you and your awesome podcast?
Yeah, I am pretty much everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Shell Spooky Stories. You can also, I've set up a TikTok for the Haunted Museum. It's Haunted Museum Northumberland. Actually, Northumberland Haunted Museum, got that the wrong way around. And we do have a Facebook group as well, where you can catch all the like behind the scenes stuff for Northumberland Haunted Museum. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I will share those links in the show description. And
Thank you.
keep up the great work. Next time we talk,
I will
I don't
do.
know, you might own a zoo or something. I don't know what you're gonna
Yeah.
own next.
Spaceship. Could be anything really, can it?
But good luck with everything that's coming. I know you're investigating this weekend. Stay safe and keep up the great.
I'll try anyway.
Thank you very much, guys. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share it where you can. That is a great way to support the podcast. And we'll be back very soon for more freaky conversations. In the meantime, stay safe and keep it freaky. Bye for now. Thank you very much, Shel. Thank you.